what's happening YouTube. So this is a pretty rough moment for Clipper Nation. We are essentially in a 3 games losing streak. We pretty much lost to the Dallas Mavericks, our biggest arch nemesis, and it was brutal, but there are moments when we actually, had some momentum and had promise to win. So basically, first quarter, it was a really big massacre season for Luka Doncic. He scored a whopping 28 points. And yeah, simple as that. Second quarter, um, we did kind of better. We played like we blitzed Luka Doncic, which it was a really smart tactic because Luka had to pass the ball more often, resulting in him to only score 4 points. And then we were kind of close. And then third quarter and fourth quarter, we showed a lot of resiliencies, primarily in the fourth quarter, but it was just towards the Mavs' favors. Luka Doncic again, he was for some reason going crazy. Like he always likes to go crazy against the Clippers. Um, Also, Luka Doncic, he had that one flop against Terrence Mann. It was clear as day a flop, and basically he got 3 free throws for that. So the refs' favoritism for the Mavs also did not help whatsoever. And then the Clippers pretty much, unfortunately, we just lost against the Dallas Mavericks. And crazy thing is we face them again on Saturday. So that's going to be really interesting to see. So I'm like just, try to go player by player, like how I usually do. So let's just start with Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac was, oh man, this is definitely going to be a really big, like a poster child of slandering Ivica Zubac because he essentially was taken advantage of by Luka Doncic, and literally Luka scored 28 points. I mean, like low key, it may not have been all Ivica Zubac's fault. It's just maybe on how good Luka is, because he did score a good amount of points on Bitumen, even on Terrence Mann in the first quarter. But pretty much Zubac play style was just a pretty bad matchup for a team like the Dallas Mavericks, because Zubac is more of a traditional 2000s bigs, and the league is changing, and we're playing at a really faster pace, and players like Luka Doncic would definitely love to take advantage on Ivica Zubac, and Zubac only got 3 rebounds. His efficiency on scoring, it was decently efficient, and the good part about Ivica Zubac is he's good at free throws. Gotta give him that. But the thing about Ivica Zubac is, I just wish he could have found a way to learn how to expand his range, like shoot threes or something like that. Because if he had some floor spacing ability, it would have definitely help him a lot and help the Clippers a lot. If he spaced the floor, he could have been maybe a Jonas Valanciunas type, but unfortunately, he still has yet to space the floor. And the thing with Ivica Zubac is there's it's either you love him or you hate him. There are two sides who would have some soft spot on Ivica Zubac, who would support Zubac and stuff, and there's the other side who do dislike Zubac with a burning strong passion. And me, I just try to see all perspectives, and I'm in the middle. Some moments, when we play against the Denver Nuggets, Zubac was not that bad against Nikola Jokic. But when we play against teams like the Dallas Mavericks or probably sometimes the Phoenix Suns or the Warriors or any fast-paced team, or let's just say a really skilled big like the Pelicans were facing Jonas Valanciunas, Zubac would tend to be on a like a disadvantage type spectrum. But yeah, Luka just really went crazy on Ivica Zubac. And then we got Marcus Morris Sr. Big shout out to Marcus Morris Sr. He was the reason why we were literally in the game. He made a lot of threes, made some really key shots. Like, even though in the last, during crunch time, like, sometimes Morris could have made some, but Morris did, made a three that kind of trimmed it to single digits for a bit, which helped gain our momentum a bit. But, like, unfortunately, Marcus Morris was not enough, but he was definitely a bright light of the Clippers lost. And then we had Nick Batum, who wasn't pretty bad. He was solid. Got a cool 10 points. Um, you know, pretty good small ball for the Dallas against the Dallas Mavericks. Especially in the past, he helped the Clippers a lot beat the Dallas Mavericks. Like, like Batum didn't do bad. But he may not have been the Batum Battalion, but he was solid. Like nothing really bad to say about Nick Batum. Big shout outs to him. Reggie Jackson, he had believe it or not, he actually had an efficient night, but during crunch time, like the ball was not being friendly to Reggie Jackson whatsoever. Like all the layups he's trying to do was like, it just rolled out, so it will pretty much result Reggie Jackson into smoking the layup, which is it's really unfortunate because like we would just love to see Mr. June be, Mr. June as we know, like Action Jackson as we know, but during crunch it was just really unfriendly to him. Like it's really nothing much that Reggie Jackson could have really done other than maybe try to trim down the turnovers and all this stuff. And then pretty much like Norman Powell, like um he essentially did pretty solid, but it was, he was on the more inefficient type spectrum this time, but during crunch time, he did help out a good amount of times, like especially when he drives to the rack. His 3 point, his shooting was on the off side of the spectrum, but nevertheless, he was still shows that he's a pretty good addition for us. Rocco, big shots to him. When he played, I like his versatility. I messed with that dude since he was back in Philly. He brings really good length. Like, he may not have produced so much on offense, but defensively, he was really good, and he's perfect to face against any teams, but especially a team like the Dallas Mavericks because he is quick, he is mobile, he has a 7'2" wingspan, which could guard a lot of players, and he does pretty good against players like Luka Doncic. And then we got Terrence Mann, also big shout outs to him. He absolutely did his thing. Played really good defense. Um, Essentially did whatever it took, and he had a really efficient night and had 13 points and played pretty good D. So, and I know a lot of people were down on Terrence Mann at some moments, but he did really good this game. He really did. Luke Kennard got some minutes. He didn't do bad. He actually shot pretty efficient. It's just he didn't really take too much shots. He only took like 4 shots and all that stuff. But nothing really too bad to say about Luke other than he could have definitely tried to shoot the ball more and be new Kennard. Then we got Isaiah Hartenstein, who played really limited minutes. He only played like I believe 6 minutes. He brought some energy, um, brought some playmaking, and nothing too much because he got a really small sample size, which I felt he should have got more of the minutes because he's more of a mobile big. And then, of course, you got Amir Coffey. Now, if you look at the box scores, it looked pretty bad. But when you actually watch him play, it was pretty solid on the defensive side. Like, especially, he was literally hungry. He got that one beautiful rip and he almost got that dunk, but he got fouled pretty hard by, I believe, Kleber, I forgot. But essentially, he did not score a field goal, but he played. Let's just say he played pretty good, and he did a lot of the little things. Like, but overall, like one of the biggest weaknesses about the Clippers is, on the rebounding type spectrum. Like, we were literally out rebounded like crazy in a lot of those games that we played, which is like I low-key kind of felt that the Clippers should have tried to pursue like a big that could get a lot of rebounds during trade deadline. But I guess it is what it is. But I'm not really comfortable that we chose to trade Serge Ibaka, who's pretty crucial in some games for just some wings that we're probably gonna waive or something like that. But yeah, Luka pretty much just went off, and all the other players did solid as well too. You got players like honestly like Dorian Finney-Smith, like he did solid. You got Jalen Brunson, who played pretty good defense, and is a pretty good backcourt with Luka. But let's just see how Spencer Dinwiddie does with the Dallas Mavericks, because they traded Porzingis, so they started Dwight Powell. But again, this was just a, let's just say, somewhat of a rough loss against the Dallas Mavericks, because Luka really went off. But we pretty much, like, there are moments when we really fought really hard, and it was actually like a close game. So be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try to discuss with y'all in the comment section. And just have a great night, Clipper Nation. Let's hope we bounce back on Saturday night.